January has been interesting, to say the least. We transferred one player out that I was expecting to transfer out. Then we had a really big offer for another player I wasn't expecting to move, but he really wanted to go, so he left as well. We're doing good in the Copa del Rey. We've got money left over. We've got about $600,000 left in the salary budget as well. So, I mean, if we wanted to go out and buy a player for $200 million, we could, but frankly, there's no one really out there that I'm willing to spend that much money for, no matter how good their attributes are, because frankly, I don't think they'll make the team that much better. That said, we've got a Copa del Rey match today, a transfer window roundup, and then we also found out who we're playing in the next round of the Champions League. So let's go to that. My name's FM20, and it's time to get real. I'm going to switch over to the left here because there's a little bit more space. So on the outs, this was kind of Guangzhou Evergrande had been coming after a few players for a while. It was just one of those cases where they've got money to throw around and my players weren't interested until I actually made the offers. So first they came from Mathis Joubert. Defensive center back, solid, really good. He's been on the team for a decent time. He's 26 years old, 3-star current ability, 4-star potential ability, but I don't think he'll ever see that 4th star. I think he's kind of right on the edge of getting that 4th star, but he's been a mainstay of the defense for a while. Really solid defender, and they offered $41 million for him, and he absolutely jumped at it because, $41 million in China is, I don't know what the tax laws are like over there, how much of that goes into his pocket and how much doesn't. But we brought him in for 3.9 from PSG back in the day. They let him go because, they're PSG. They go out, they spend 200 million euros a year, and as a result, they have really good players. They'll let go for a pittance because they can afford to. But as you can see, he had 3.5 really good seasons for us. He was the team captain, but he wanted to go. I wasn't going to stand in his way. We made a decent amount of money on this. Bogdan Kostadinovic went to Ponferradina on loan. Peter Hoffman went to Réal Sporting in La Liga 2. He was one of those first youth players I brought in. Plays a defensive center back, also a decent defensive right back. Solid player. 2-star current ability, 3.5. Well, at one point in time, I want to say he was 4-star potential ability. Now he's just 3-star potential ability. One of those guys who he could play for us on a regular basis, but there was always somebody just a little bit better than him that got the starting time. He's one of those players I took a risk on. I paid $2.5 million for him from Dynamo Seske, and frankly, if he had been playing for us full time, I'm positive I could have turned around and sold him for at least that much. But he goes to Sporting for $825,000. It's a little bit of a loss, but I'm okay with that. As you can see, he did get a decent amount of playing time. Well, maybe not a decent amount of playing time for us, but he did play some games for us. He was okay. It's just one of those cases, like I said, I brought him in, and then they're always, I brought him in, and then Mathis Joubert was available for $3.6 million. So, let's spend $3.6 million for a player who's already better than Peter Hoffman. Hoffman could be a backup for us and a sometimes spot starter, but a team wanted him and he wanted to go there, so let him go there. And then Guangzhou came back in and made a €45 million offer for Donnie Alonso. And he's been kind of lost on the midfield because I brought other players in. He was injured for a little bit, and then got kind of lost in the shuffle, but he's a solid deep line playmaker, also plays the other positions fairly well. Decent physically, really good mentally. Technically, he's good where it counts. I would have been more than happy to keep him on the squad. He's 3-star current ability, 3-star potential ability, 27 years old. He would have been, the newer version of Cordonovas, the guy who comes in and plays a little bit of everywhere, but he would still get starts for us. As you can see, he got 103 starts for us over the course of his career. He came in for $5.25 million. We got him in from Real Madrid's B team. He came in the same year as Joubert, I want to say. Yeah. And became just a really good deep line playmaker for us. He got a ton of starts. He wasn't exactly a goal machine, but he had a decent amount of assists. 11 one year, 3 the next. 4 players in the match one year, 3 the next. This year he had 14 starts, but his assists were down. His ratings were down just a little bit. That's because I have better younger players, and Guangzhou came in and made a huge offer for him, and he was like, yeah, I want to go there. And I'm like, okay, I'm certainly not going to stand in your way. If we look at our overall budget right now. We've still got 184 million euros in the transfer budget. Our payroll is 1.7, and well, that's our limit. We're currently spending a million on the payroll, which leaves us a little over 670,000 euros to spend on a weekly salary if we wanted to. But frankly, there's no reason for it. The transfer window is closing here in a couple of days. There's some okay players out there, but they're not any better than the players I have in the squad. Why go out and spend 35 million euros on a player who's just as good as the player you got in your squad right now? So we'll save that money. Chances are, come the summer transfer window, it's going to go away. But as long as we get a decent amount back, I'll be okay with that. Schedule-wise, we played Red Star and Zaragoza last. We had the friendly against Alaves. Against Leganes, we won 2-0 thanks to goals by Pagano and Benvenuti. Oh, I totally forgot to go over the ins. We did bring a couple players in. First in, Vlakov Havranek from Slovan Liberec for 13 million euros straight up. Defensive midfielder who I am retraining as a ball-playing defender. Really good physically. Mentally, he is solid across the board. I mean, it's leadership for crying out loud. But 17 teamwork. The 9 off the ball isn't too bad, especially for a kid who's 17 years old. 16 decision-making, 17 teamwork. The positioning, vision, and work rate are all nice. I mean, everything about him is nice mentally. Technically, he's already solid. 13 first touch, 11 marking, 14 tackling, 16 penalty taking. He'll probably be our primary penalty taker once he starts playing full-time. 16 technique, 12 dribbling, 13 first touch. He's a defensive midfielder, a deep line playmaker by trade, but I'm retraining him. Well, they say he could also be a libero on support, but I'm training him to be a ball-playing defender. And as you can see here, with the exception of the heading and the jumping reach, and this totally needs to change to aerial, which will work on the heading and the bravery, he is a solid player. He's 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. He's 17 years old. Going to keep him on the under-18s this year, loan him out next year, and then maybe the year after that, depending on who comes in or who doesn't. And then if I can start getting him playing time when he's 18, 19, I will do that. So, like I said, comes from Slovan Liberec in the Czech Republic, 13 million euros straight up. One of my scouts found him, and I scouted him, and he looked really good. It was one of those cases where the team didn't want to let him go, and I'm clicking all over the place. The team didn't want to let him go until I said, hey, how much do you want for him? And they were like, 13 million. I was like, okay. 17 years old, 5'10", 154 pounds. He's decent on both feet. He's stronger on the right than he is on the left. But, yeah, he is definitely going to be a star for us. Well, the plan is for him to be a star for us in the future. But, Custer had a plan too. And then Ross Boyce comes to us from Fulham for 12 million euros. I wanted a player who was kind of a jack of all trades, master of none up top, and Ross Boyce fits the bill. Physically, he's pretty solid. Mentally, he's solid across the board. The 6 bravery is a little low for me, but it's not in the red. The concentration, leadership, positioning, and vision they're average, but average is okay for this. Mentally, otherwise, he's very solid. Technically, he's really, really solid. He's spectacular in a couple of places, I think. The 16 dribbling is nice. The 16 heading is nice. The 15 passing, 14 techniques is also nice. He's primarily a striker, but I picked him up because he plays all the advanced midfielder positions decently. He's very weak left-footed, which means he'll be more of an inside forward when he's playing on the left side. But the lack of depth I have up top has really kind of hit me, and I needed a player I could bring in on the bench who could come in, spell the guys up top, and also contribute when he's on the advanced midfield line. So that is what he is going to be doing. He's 24 years old. Started his career out in Everton. Didn't really do anything there. He went to Fulham for 19 million, and it was okay. He had 9 and 21, and then 2 and 12, and then 3 and 18. He could just never crack the starting lineup at Fulham. He had a loan spell in Cadiz. That's where I remember his name, because I remember seeing it. And let me see here. I can't remember where, though, because 3 seasons ago. Yeah, were they in the? Yeah, they would have been in La Liga 3 seasons ago. So I just remember his name. Getting him for 12 million straight up, I think, is a decent deal. He was just kind of lost in the shuffle at Fulham. They've got a guy by the name of Picard who is solid, and then their other striker is a guy by the name of Burnett who is really good, and he wasn't going to get the playing time he wanted there. and we needed depth. And, frankly, we got it. So we played Barcelona in the Supercopa semifinal, and we lost 3-4. Robert Maria, hat tricks worth of goals. They needed a goal in the 78th minute to win, or the 88th minute to win from Zonzamas, rather. We had the lead going in. Mahamud equalized in the 78th minute, then Zonzamas put him ahead in the 88th, which was a bit of a bummer, but I'm okay with that. It's the Supercopa. The board really isn't worried about it. As long as we got out of this injury-free, I was happy with it. And Maria had an absolutely fabulous game. I suspect I'm going to have to re-sign him to a new contract this offseason. And then we've been on a really good run. We thumped Sevilla 3-0. Maria goal, Verdonk a brace of goals, including one way into extra time. And then against Cadiz, we stopped them 4-0. Verdonk, a brace of goals, Israel a goal, Maria a goal. In the Copa del Rey third round, we played Real Sociedad, shut them out. Maria, hat tricks worth of goals, Uche a goal in the 68th minute. And against Atletico, we beat them 4-1. Maria a brace of goals, Matasevic a goal, Resnicek a goal. This was a really good game for us. We just absolutely abused Atletico. I mean, 17 shots, 10 on target, they're 10-3. And the goal they got, the Besnier goal, was really, really good, but we were better than them today, and it really showed. So currently, in La Liga, we are a point behind Barcelona. We have drawn more games and lost less, and that is why. Atletico is in fourth place, so shutting them or beating them like we did 4-1 was really, really good. Villarreal is in third. Real Madrid is in fifth. So they are fighting for European football. They're a point behind Atletico. Villarreal's got a really good team this year. But as you can see, there are 6 points between us and Villarreal. So for the moment, it's us and Barcelona fighting it out for the first place in La Liga. Now, I'm hoping that someone can beat Barcelona and they'll stumble and we can kind of squeak ahead, because I think that's what it's going to take for us to squeak ahead. But, this year, as long as we finish top 4, I'm fine with that. So Robert Maria currently leads with 34 goals in 22 games across all competitions. Well, it's more like 29 games in all competitions. Well, let's take a look. So 27 appearances, 1 off the bench. He's got 34 goals. He's got 20 games and 20 appearances in La Liga. He's got 8 and 6 in the Champions League. He has 3 in the Copa del Rey. He had 3 in the Supercopa. He's turning into a really good replacement for Helio. I think at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, when they both reach their full potential, Helio might be a little bit better in a couple of areas, but Maria has proven more than capable as his backup. He also leads us with a 7.83 rating. Israel with 13 assists in 22 games. He is well on his way to breaking the record. He's just turned into a very, very good winger, and he's a bit ahead of schedule, to be honest with you. Letting Lemaitre go to put Israel there was... part of me would still much rather have Lemaitre playing and have Israel coming off the bench, and then I can move Lemaitre for more money, or move Israel for a decent amount of money. But Lemaitre wanted to leave, so he left. That dude, I swear, we're gonna take a little bit of a break here, real quick. He's at Villarreal, and this is annoying. They're saying he's now worth 20 million euros. He hasn't really played for them. He had 4 appearances, 1 off the bench, 1 assist. And they got him for 2.5. That is just annoying. But if I was to compare him to Israel's better physically. Lemaitre's better technically. Not as good as in the air. I didn't realize that. Okay, so yeah, I'd much rather have Israel. It's okay, so there's no reason no problems letting Lemaitre go. And this is Benjamin Andrich. He had the one wonder year for us when he had 10 and 30, and we sold him the Mets for 4.8. Looks like he's been a part-time starter there. He's been okay. He started for them last season. Looks like at 10 and 28. He's got 2 and 7 this year, so not bad. William Benvenuti, best pass completion rating. Robert Ria, 9 players of the match. Fernandez, 10 yellow cards. Malo has the 1 red card. This is frustrating. He's not a guy who goes out and gets a ton of yellow cards or red cards. In our 22 matches played, our 50 goals are second highest. Our 19 goals allowed are third best. Our 48 yellow cards are second highest. But we're on 53 points. So, it seems like we're really trying to have our points equal our yellow cards. The board's happy with me. We're doing really well. Injury-wise, we're okay. Jared Bowen is playing for Almeria. He's wanted by Brentford. he has had quite the career, hasn't he? I remember that because he was at Crystal Palace for a few years. I remember checking that out. They turned around and sold him to Newcastle. And then Newcastle sold him to Almeria. Where's Palace this year? 11th in the Prem. Good for them. Anyhow, we are playing Schalke in our Champions League knockout round. So, fun times. I think what we're going to do is we're going to play Almeria today in the Copa del Rey 4th round. And then once that game's over, we'll figure out what we're going to do next. This could be just a short episode. So I'm going to set my best 11, check the reserves, and we're going to come back with our Copa del Rey 4th round match against Almeria in just a bit. Well, this is the team we're starting today. It is our 4-2-4, of course. We got Seferovic in goal, Pagano, Uche, Benvenuti, and Augusto as the defensive back four. Slimanu and Malu as the midfielders. Verdonk and Israel as the attacking midfielders. Matasevic and Maria up top as the strikers. And I can't remember. I need to double check that real quick. Yeah, Slimanu is our ball-winning midfielder. He's our young ball-winning midfielder, so he's getting some game time because, it's the Copa del Rey. He can also play defensive right back as well, so he and Augusto can switch back out and forth. 19 years old, improving by leaps and bounds. He should do a job for us. Uche picked up a yellow card 10 minutes in. Good grief. Oh, they got it. Del Moro hit it far post, but he was offsides. That was a nice set piece for them. Lesueur bombs at forward to no one in Almeria uniform. Pagano gets it. Nice first touch. Over to Uche. He feeds Slimanu, who also picked up a yellow. Malo over to Verdonk. He feeds Maria, and Maria scores. That was nice. 35th goal of the season. Verdonk, I want to say, is being shown as 5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. Which, nice pass with the left foot. Which I think is interesting because he's primarily a striker. I'm retraining to be a winger, yet as a winger, they're still showing him as 5-star ability across the board. That's just interesting to say the least. Coming up on halftime, we are thoroughly dominating Almeria. 9 shots, 3 on target. Huge possession advantage. Maria, a very nice goal off the Verdonk assist. You know what? Let me show you Verdonk here real quick. So yeah, they're showing him 5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. He's still improving at 23, and he's supposed to be primarily a striker, but I am retraining him as a winger on the left. Very strong left foot, so it was a very good assist from him. And as you can see, he's played primarily on the left for us since we got him, and he's having a really good season. 8 goals, 6 assists. He's got 8 and 9 overall. So, and frankly, he's been a really good pickup for us. For a guy who came in on a free, of all things, he was at Den Haag, and they just let him go. And we got him this season. He's doing really good for us. Well, we're coming up on 60 minutes here. There have been no highlights this second half so far. So we're gonna swap Slimanu and Augusto, and then we're gonna bring on Diallo to play the defensive right back. Uche we're gonna bring off and bring on Zorlu. And I don't. What the heck am I missing? Oh, good grief! Ball's bouncing back and forth because I'm totally forgot to hit the button. Benvenuti to Malo to Slimanu to Uche out to Pagano. He drives forward, holds it up, crosses it in. Israel's there, and he scores. If that was a header, that was a brilliant header because he's not much of a jumper. We'll take a look at this in the 3D. Pagano. And Israel does jump up with a header. Oh, he got in front of the defender. That's why. Nice goal from the winger. His 7th of the season. Augusto sends it in, knocked back and forth, and Maria takes a shot, bounces it off, or Benvenuti took a shot, rather. The Maria name popped up. That's why I thought it was him. That was Maria, because Benvenuti headed it. It bounced off the player, and Maria volleyed it in. That's just weird. Okay, Augusto's getting gassed, so we're going to take him off. We'll bring on Fabian. Pagano sends it up into space. Matasevic runs it down. Oh, he's dispossessed by Ramirez. Go tries passing, but Israel steps in front of it. He loses it. Is he fouled? He was. That's a penalty kick. Who's taking this? For Donkiz, okay? And a nice goal from the winger. Well, the keeper guessed right, but he was late. Oh, a thorough domination of Almeria. 20 shots, 11 on target, 62% possession advantage. And that is a solid game for us. Praise the boys. That was well done. So we'll find out who we're playing in the 5th round and then come back and make a decision there. And we've got transfer offers as well. So transfer window's still open. It's still got a couple days left to go. So we'll finish that out as well. Back in a bit. Now, here's our Copa del Rey draw. Celta Vigo. You know what? We'll just draw them all. Villarreal is playing Barcelona. We are playing Eibar. Okay. Deportivo is playing Madrid. Zaragoza is playing Celta Vigo. What do we got coming up here? Yeah, the episode will be a little long, but we can come back and do that. So that's what we're going to do. We'll play Malaga offline and then come back and play Eibar in the Copa del Rey 5th round here in just a bit. It's literally been probably about 5 days since I recorded my last episode prior to this one, and so I completely forgot I had other deals in the works when we were talking about transfer windows. Amin Slimanu, who got the start last game at ball-winning midfielder, is a youngster. He's going out on loan to a club in North Africa. I want to say EF something or other in Tunisia. It hasn't gone through yet because their transfer window is still open, but he's getting a star player status there, and they're paying all of his money and everything like that. We had a couple players come in after Boyce that were still in the works. They came in on the last day of the transfer window. First is Bjorn Van Horn from Sigma Olomouc for $12 million, going up to 12.75. Midfielder, box-to-box midfielder, ball-winning midfielder, 17 years old. Probably go out on loan the next season or two, then start getting some starts. Or he may just stay in the under-19s. I'm not quite sure yet. 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. Solid physically. I love the 16 stamina. Solid mentally. I mean, when a 6 leadership and a 9 vision are your worst problems to worry about there, you're doing really good. Technically, he's okay. A couple of things could improve, and they will improve as he gets more training, of which I got to go in and fix real quick. Training. Again, solid, but not spectacular. But then again, 17 years old. He will definitely get better. And then Tim Bish comes to us from RB Leipzig. He was, frankly, I think, I don't want to say too good to pass. Well, yeah, he may have been a little bit too good to pass up. We brought him in for 3.5 million euros. He's a star and a half current ability, 4-star potential ability. I brought him in because physically he's solid. Mentally, I love the 16 anticipation, 19 bravery, 13 determination is nice, 16 teamwork. Everything else is solid. Technically, he's pretty good where it counts. You know, the 10 dribbling is average, but, you know, the 12 first touch, 14 passing, 14 tackling, 14 technique. You know, he's one of those guys who can come in and either start as a deep line playmaker or ball-winning midfielder or come off the bench. He'll be part of the rotation. 19 years old, he will definitely see some playing time here in the next couple of years. And for 3.5 million euros, it's not a huge risk, I don't think. He came in through the Leipzig youth system. He never really got any starts or anything like that. They put him out. You know, he requested a transfer because he knew he wasn't going to get any playing time there, and came to us for 3.5 million euros for a player of this quality right now. That's a good deal, I think. So today we're playing Eibar in our Copa del Rey 5th round match. I'm going to set my best 11, check the reserves, and we'll come back for that match in just a minute. As you can see, we thumped Malaga. This was a really rotated side for us. Seferovic got the start. So did Fernandez. Benvenuti started, but Zorlu started as well. Broderson, Fabian, Van Horn, Reznicek got the start in the player of the match with a really good performance. Sutter and Boyce up top. Boyce was solid, but not spectacular, which was fine. That's all I was looking for. Reznicek scored. Sutter scored. Matasevic scored. Verdonk got an FM goal. So, I mean, Malaga had a solid game. They had 18 shots, 12 on target, but they just couldn't get any past the defense. So this was a good game for us. So like I was saying, though, I'm going to double check my best 11, set the reserves. I'm going to come back with our Copa del Rey 5th round match against Eibar in just a minute. It is our 4-2-4, of course. We got Seferovic in goal, Pagano, Uche, Benvenuti, and Fernandez is the defensive back four. Augusto and Malo is the midfielders. Verdonk and Israel is the attacking midfielders. Matasevic and Maria up top as the strikers. Seferovic over to Benvenuti. He brings it forward. All the way back to Seferovic. Okay. Out to Uche. Oh, he tries getting it up to... What the heck's going on here? Miser. And he pushes it wide right. Our passing has been atrocious so far. Rubio on the throw-in for Eibar. Back to Rubio. Oh, he gives it away. Maria to Augusto. Over to Israel. Gets between the defender. Oh, dude, what the hell? I think that was a shot. The number 10 was kind of in the area. Matasevic was kind of in the area, but Musselthwaite. Oh, Verdonk has it down. Goes right to Rubio, though. Gelabert can't control the ball. Augusto has it up into space for Maria. Got by the defender. Takes the shot. And he puts it in. That was nice. Kind of surprised they didn't call Maria offsides, although it looks like he was probably onside. I don't know. It seems to go 6 in one way, half dozen the other way, 9 times. 6 in one, half dozen the other, 9 times. Good grief. Let's mix up all our metaphors there, dude. Miser. Cutting left. Shadowed. Drops it off to Flevitt, but Augusto runs up and grabs the ball. Passes it up in space for Maria again, who rounds the keeper and scores again, but he was offsides that time. Okay. Did Verdonk pick up a yellow card? Good grief. Augusto sends it in, and it's headed over the crossbar. Malo to Augusto. Up into space for Verdonk. He cuts inside. Crosses it across the field to Israel, who is dispossessed by Kalina. Israel gets it back. Maria to Augusto. Matasevic up into space. Maria is there. Wow. And 3 Eibar players around the ball. Israel did well to get the ball back. Maria was there. He was dispossessed. Went to Augusto. Matasevic just taps it. And the number 3 player for Eibar, I don't know what he was thinking, made no effort to get to the ball. Pagano on the throw to Augusto, to Malo, back to Augusto, into the box. Israel holds it up. Fernandez is there, and his shot is just wide right. Coming up on half here. 12 shots, 5 on target for us for their 4-1. Maria, a brace of goals, the second of which was just... it was a gimme. Eibar should have stopped that, but they didn't. Kickoff highlight. Daniel to Rubio. To Charles-Jacques. Gelabert. Up into space for Viegas. And Seferovic, a very nice save. Musselwhite. Knocked away. Miser runs the ball down. Back to Jacques. Up to Gelabert. Flevitt. Musselwhite to Flevitt. Out to Miser. Takes the shot. And he skies over the crossbar. That looked like it was going in. Augusto from outside the box sends it in, and it goes just wide right. Gelabert in the crowd, knocked away. Musselwhite runs it down, challenged, goes right, holds it up, crosses it in. Benvenuti knocks away, but it goes to Gelabert on the other side. He gets by the defender. His pass goes through the box. Meiser dumps it off to Musselwhite, and his pass is bounced off a high-end player. Verdonk running forward, cutting through the defense. Taps it up for Maria, off the post, and knocked out of bounds. Oh, Maria's going to be kicking himself for that one. Oh, we're going to get Verdonk off and bring on Sutter. We're going to get Augusto off because he's gassed and bring on... we're going to bring on Bish. Get the youngster some playing time. Fernandez on the throw-in to Israel, who loses it. Fernandez for Ibar kicks it up and loses it. Fernandez for us. Dumps it off. Matasevic to Verdonk. And nice save. And Israel can't stop it from going out of bounds. Good save from Silvera there. Or Silvera, the Ibar keeper. Israel knocks it down. Gets it up. Maria takes the shot. Misses. Gets it back. And he puts it away for his hat trick. It's like his 5th or 6th hat trick of the season. Holy cow. Wow. He was dispossessed and stood up just in time to get the ball back from Israel. That was well done. Should probably get Israel off here in a little bit. Yeah, we'll leave Israel on. 5 minutes left in the game. Israel recovers the ball, drops it off to Fernandez. Long cross towards Sutter. Matasevic back to Sutter. Out to Israel on the right. Crosses it in, and Sutter's fouled. It should be Matasevic's. And Severa, very nice save. Israel, dispossessed. Fernandez for Ibar, drops up to Guibert, over to Jacques. All the way back to Severa, and he just bombs it out of bounds. Fernandez on the throw-in. Malo runs down the errant ball. Passes it out. Sutter in the box. Drops it off to Pagano. Pagano tries crossing it in. He bounces it off an Ibar player. Whistle should blow here in a minute. Sutter back to Pagano. He crosses it in, but goes right to Severa. And that is the game. Robert Maria, hat trick's worth of goals. Matasevic, a missed penalty kick, although it was a very nice save by Severa. A nice 3-0 victory against Ibar. Find out who we're playing and figure out what we're doing next. Oh, Verdonk reached the yellow card limit. Fabulous. Now, we are playing Zaragoza in the semifinal. And we'll either play Villarreal or Real Madrid in the final. Where is Zaragoza at? 7th. Oh, and it's a 2-leg thing. Okay. So here is what I think we are going to do. We are going to come back and play Zaragoza and then Schalke and do Getafe and Levante offline. Actually, no. We're going to skip the first leg. We're going to come back and do Schalke and Zaragoza. And then, assuming we get to the final should be somewhere around in here. And we're playing Zaragoza 4 days after we play them again. Good grief. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to skip the first leg because it's away. And come back and do the first leg home at Schalke and then home at Zaragoza. And then depending on what happens there, we'll determine what we do next. Probably be the Copa del Rey final, should we get past Zaragoza. And then the second leg of the first knockout round against Schalke, or some other combination thereof. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to skip the first leg and then come back for Schalke and Zaragoza and skip the Valencia game. So a couple of really solid wins for us. The defense has been on an absolute tear. We have had a lot of shutouts this season. We've also had some high-scoring games as well. The 5-0 against Athletic Club. A lot of 4-0 victories. Cadiz, Sociedad, Palmyra. We're also getting thumped as well, 6-1 by Chelsea and things like that. But Maria is absolutely on fire. I should probably think about a contract extension for him. 4.5 star current ability, 4.5, 5-star potential ability. He's getting there. So, I mean, physically, he's really, really good. Mentally, he's solid. Technically, he's getting better. And, his positioning is improving as well. I like the fact that he's rounding the keeper more, which is nice. Or knocking the ball past the opponent, I should say. So, 20 goals in 19 games in La Liga. That's really good. I wouldn't mind a few more assists from him, but that's just quibbling. So, I'd also be interested in what you thought of our transfer window. We sold 132, or we sold 144, brought in 132, and we're also setting ourselves up for the future as well. Now, it could be worse. We could be, was it Man City? They sold a total of $267 million, and they spent a total of $506 million. Rabuffi went to Chelsea. Ekat went to Barcelona. Holland went to Newcastle. Holland has not had the best career, at least in my version of FM. I think his potential got borked by the game when it first started. But they paid $198 million for Fabrizio Gamberini from Napoli, who is a Mazzala midfielder. So that's him compared to Malo. So he's probably 4-star, maybe 5 stars. So physically, yeah, he's a good player. I don't know that he's 200 million euros worth a good player, but Man City's got the money to spend. So another 125 million on Kasper Jensen, who is a keeper. No reason they let Van Eekhout go. I remember this kid. He's from Denmark. And I remember looking at him thinking, he is going to be really good one of these days. Holy cow, 125 million euros for that. That's him compared to Seferovic. Seferovic's a year older. And he's not much worse. And Jensen went for 125. Wow. Maybe I need to look at re-signing Seferovic to a new deal. Anyhow, if you did like what you've seen and heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, questions, criticism, comments, leave those down below. I'd be interested in your feedback on the transfer window. And what do you think about going forward? My name's FM20.